In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to use Excel Pivot. If you have data in a sheet and you want an easy way to summarize it, pivot tables are one of the most useful tools in Excel. In this tutorial, we will start from setting up your selection. Then we will open the pivot table creation window. And finally, we will check the field area so you know you are building the right pivot table. First, click any single data cell inside your active range, A1 to C5. This means you should not select multiple ranges, and you do not need to highlight everything. Just click one cell that falls within the data you want to analyze. Doing this helps Excel identify the correct source range for your pivot table. As you click, look at your worksheet, and make sure that the cell you choose is truly inside the dataset, not outside it. Next, move up to the top ribbon menu and click the Insert tab. The Insert tab is where Excel places tools for adding different kinds of objects, including charts, tables, and pivot tables. When you click Insert, you should see a set of groups on the ribbon, including the area labeled Tables. Take a moment here to orient yourself, because the Pivot Table option is located under that Tables-related section. Now, within the Insert tab, click Pivot Table in the Tables group area. After you click Pivot Table, Excel will open a small dialog box. This dialog box is very important because it confirms which data Excel will use to create the pivot table and where the pivot table will be placed in your workbook. When the dialog appears, click OK to proceed. If Excel already selected your range correctly, you can simply confirm with OK and let Excel continue to the next step. After you click OK, Excel will prepare a pivot table layout on your sheet. At this point, you will typically see the pivot table field list on the screen. This is where Excel shows the columns from your source data, and it is where you build your summary by choosing which fields go where. The key idea is that your pivot table is not finished until you verify that Excel is showing the correct fields. So, the next step is to check everything on the field. Look at the pivot table field area and make sure you can see all of the fields that you expect from your data. Confirm that the field names correspond to the columns in your original range. If any fields are missing, or if the wrong range was used, that is the moment to address it. You want your pivot table to reflect your real data structure, because everything you do afterward depends on having the correct set of fields available. While you are checking the field section, pay attention to how Excel organizes options. Some areas are used for different parts of the pivot table, and each field you choose will affect the final result. Do not worry if you do not have a final layout yet. For now, the important thing is to confirm that the field list matches your source columns. Once you see the correct fields, you are ready to start arranging them into rows, columns, values, or filters, depending on what you want to summarize. When you have verified the fields and confirmed everything looks right, you have completed the core setup steps for creating your pivot table. You have selected the correct data range, opened the pivot table creation tool, confirmed it, and checked that the field list is properly populated. That gives you a strong foundation for any pivot table analysis you want to perform next. That covers everything you need to know, and that is all there is to it.